Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something embarrassing. Last year, I went through a phase where I was putting protein powder in my coffee, my oatmeal, and my salad dressing. I was basically marinating myself in whey protein and wondering why I felt bloated and my digestion was a complete disaster.
Right, and this is actually a very common story. The fitness and wellness industry has spent about 2 decades telling us that more protein equals more muscle, more energy, more of everything good. And the research tells a considerably more complicated story.
Which is exactly why we are diving into what I'm calling the protein paradox today. Because here's the thing though, protein is genuinely important. But the just eat more messaging, that's where it gets messy.
Precisely. So today, we're going to sort out what your body actually does with protein, how much it can realistically use, and what that means for different people at different life stages.
So let's start at the beginning, because I think a lot of us assume we know what protein does, and we actually don't. We just know we're supposed to eat it.
Fair. So protein is made up of amino acids, and your body uses those amino acids for everything from repairing muscle tissue to making hormones, enzymes, and immune cells. It is not just a gym supplement, it is fundamental biology.
Okay, so right away that changes the framing. It is not just a bodybuilder thing.
Exactly. Now, the recommended dietary allowance, the RDA, set by the National Academies of Sciences in the US, sits at 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For an average adult, that's roughly 55 to 65 grams daily.
And I feel like every protein bar I've ever seen is advertising 30 grams per serving. So 2 bars and you're basically done for the day?
On paper, yes, but here's the actual paradox. Your body can only synthesize, meaning use, roughly 20 to 40 grams of protein for muscle building purposes in a single sitting. Research published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition puts the upper limit of muscle protein synthesis per meal at around 0.4 grams per kilogram of body weight.
Okay, so if I'm eating a 60-gram protein steak dinner, my muscles are using maybe half of that for repair and growth, and the rest is just what?
It gets broken down. The nitrogen is excreted, and the remaining carbon skeletons are either used for energy or stored as fat. So that extra protein is not wasted exactly, but it is definitely not doing the superhero work the marketing suggests.
Here's the thing though, I've also read that older adults need more protein. My mom is 68, and her doctor actually mentioned this. So is the 0.8 grams figure outdated for some people?
Brilliant point, Emma. And this is where the nuance gets genuinely important. There is a growing body of research, including work from Dr. Stuart Phillips at McMaster University, suggesting that the RDA is likely a minimum, not an optimal target. And for older adults, the anabolic response to protein, meaning how efficiently muscle is built, actually decreases with age.
So older adults need more protein to get the same result a younger person gets from less. That is genuinely counterintuitive.
Right. Researchers like Dr. Douglas Padden-Jones at the University of Texas have advocated for older adults targeting closer to 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day, distributed across meals. The distributed part matters enormously.
Which connects to something I completely ignored during my protein powder obsession. I was dumping 50 grams into one smoothie and then barely eating protein the rest of the day. Terrible strategy, apparently.
Genuinely counterproductive, yes. The research consistently supports what's called protein distribution, spreading your intake across 3 or 4 meals. A 2014 study in the Journal of Nutrition by Dr. Alyssa Churchward-Verney and colleagues showed that evenly distributed protein intake produced significantly better muscle protein synthesis than the same total amount eaten in 1 or 2 large doses.
So the I'll just have a massive protein dinner approach is not actually efficient, even if the total grams look right on paper.
Correct. And this is where I want to push back gently on something, because I know our listeners are busy. The sandwich generation folks especially juggling kids and aging parents. The reality is, perfectly distributing protein across every single meal is an ideal. It is not always achievable.
Oh, thank you for saying that, because I was feeling like a failure just hearing the every meal advice.
The practical goal is progress, not perfection. Even shifting from 1 protein-heavy meal to 2 moderately protein-rich meals is a meaningful improvement according to the research.
Okay, and before we go further, if this episode is giving you the I've been thinking about this all wrong feeling, please take a second to hit like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. It genuinely helps us keep bringing you episodes like this one. where we actually dig into the stuff that matters.
Much appreciated. Now let's address the elephant in the room, which is the very high protein diet. We're talking 200, even 250 grams per day that some fitness influencers recommend.
I have seen some wild numbers online, and honestly, some of my friends are doing these very high protein, very low carb protocols and swearing by them.
Right. So here's what the research actually says. For generally healthy adults with healthy kidneys, high protein diets appear to be safe. A 2020 review in Advances in Nutrition found no evidence of harm in healthy individuals eating up to 2.2 grams per kilogram per day over extended periods.
Okay, that's reassuring, but there's a but coming, isn't there?
There is always a but. For individuals with pre-existing kidney disease or even reduced kidney function, which is actually quite common in adults over 60 without them realizing it, very high protein intake can accelerate kidney stress. The American Kidney Fund specifically flags this, so it is not a universal green light.
And this is where I want to be clear with our listeners. We are talking wellness here, not medicine. If you have any kidney concerns or chronic health conditions, please talk to your doctor before dramatically changing your protein intake. This is not the place for a one-size-fits-all answer.
Agreed entirely. Now here's another layer that I find genuinely fascinating. Protein source matters, not just quantity. Animal proteins like eggs, meat, fish, and dairy contain all 9 essential amino acids and are highly bioavailable. But plant proteins can absolutely meet your needs with some strategy.
Which is a relief for anyone who is plant-based or just trying to eat less meat. My neighbor is vegetarian and she's always worrying about this.
The key for plant-based eaters is combining sources across the day. Legumes with grains, for instance, covers your essential amino acid bases. Dr. Walter Willett at Harvard School of Public Health has done extensive work showing that well-planned plant-based diets fully support healthy protein synthesis. It just requires a bit more intentionality.
Here's the thing though, the word intentionality can feel very intimidating when you're heating up leftovers at 7 p.m. after a school run and 3 work calls.
Fair. So practically speaking, a handful of lentils in your soup, some Greek yogurt as a snack, and egg at breakfast. These are not complicated interventions. They're just small, consistent adjustments.
And that actually brings me to something I want to push back on a little, David. Because you've been pretty measured about the whole more protein trend. But I have genuinely felt better since I increased my protein intake. More satiated, fewer 3 p.m. energy crashes. Is that just placebo?
No, actually. And I want to be fair here. Protein has the highest thermic effect of food of any macronutrient, meaning your body burns more calories just digesting it. It also influences satiety hormones, specifically GLP-1 and peptide Y, which signal fullness to your brain. Research from Purdue University by Dr. Wayne Campbell has shown consistent appetite-suppressing effects from higher protein diets.
So my experience was real. It was just that I was also overdoing it by dumping it all in one meal and hitting my kidneys with an unnecessary load.
Essentially, yes. Getting enough protein strategically distributed from quality sources is genuinely beneficial. Getting excessive amounts in one go just creates expensive urine and maybe digestive discomfort.
Expensive urine. I'm going to think about that every time I see a Ford or protein bar now. Thank you for that image, David.
You're most welcome.
Okay, so if you are walking away with one thing today, here's what I want you to take with you. The goal is not to maximize your protein, it is to optimize it. Aim for roughly 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. If you're over 50 or active, spread it across your meals and don't stress about hitting a perfect number every single day.
Right. And if I'm being direct, the most underrated shift most people can make is simply adding a moderate protein source to breakfast. It is the meal most people under-protein, and the research suggests it sets a positive metabolic tone for the entire day.
Y'all, that is the kind of practical tip that actually changes things without requiring a complete lifestyle overhaul. We are always going to come back to what is real and what is doable on this show.
That is the promise, yes. And on that note, if you found today's episode useful, please do like and subscribe. It costs nothing, and it genuinely helps us reach more people who are tired of complicated, contradictory wellness advice.
Until next time, take care of yourselves in a way that actually fits your real life. Not the highlight reel version, the real one.
Optimistically realistic, as always.
This show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to voxcreel.ai and request a sample episode.